right, here we are. Our behind the scenes SeaWorld adventure begins right now. Tyler's beyond excited. We're here with our friend Seth. So we're all excited to start this little journey adventure. Tyler's, yeah, she's beyond thrilled right now.
So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today and show you, because I do work in the rescue area.
Yeah.
We won't be able to interact or touch any of the animals, but you'll see a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, that's so cool.
You know narwhals?
Oh, she has a stuffed
Oh, she loves narwhals.
You do? I just gave my niece a stuffed narwhal for Christmas. She's a big narwhal fan too. Just to let you guys know too, since you're here first thing in the morning, we're just getting things cleaned up so things don't, other than me, things aren't always as pretty as they normally are. Do you want to start? Do you want me to? I was going to start with showing them fish house and all that. I'm going to go get my quarantine shoes off real quick. I'll meet you guys right back here. Come here, Tyler.
Tyler, come here.
Little snowy egret? That's a snowy egret.
Cool.
It's cute, it's cute, it's awesome, it's cute.
She was really excited when she found out we were hosting y'all because she's familiar with your
Oh, awesome. Come on, Tyler, stop. Let's go.
And then Emily, who's in here, is from South Carolina, so she started freaking out. Come on down.
Here, hold my hand.
So you guys, have you been to the San Diego park before? Okay, so we're a little bit, Megan, thank you so much for coming in last minute.
Hey, hold my hand.
Thank you. The seagull? Those crazy seagulls. Do you know why he's hanging out right there? Do you know what he's doing? He's shopping the fish house. This is what we call our fish house. And this is where people like Nick get all of our fish ready for all the animals, and he's hoping he might get a little freebie from the fish house. So he's spying on Nick right now to see when Nick turns his back. Does he have a boo-boo? Oh, do you know what? Do you know what that is? That red color? That's not actually a boo-boo. That is there, and that's like a mommy seagull, and the little baby seagulls, they peck at that red mark on his beak, and that's them letting the mommy seagull know I'm hungry. So that's kind of like a target for the baby seagulls. We're kind of like our own little community back here. We have our own paint shop, welding shop, automotive shop. This is our receiving. What's really great about it as far as from a rescue standpoint is a lot of times we have to get very creative to rescue these animals, and we can have things built right away on
Tyler,
site.
come on. Be careful, Tyler. Hold her hand.
So this is our main freezer.
Wow.
We have 2 others on site, and then we also have a large one off site. We try to keep about a 2-week supply of fish on hand at the park. We get a truck that delivers it once a week, so on Wednesday. So it's getting a little light in there. The truck will come tomorrow, but we keep a 2-week supply in case for some reason the truck can't make it. And they're gonna put it on these racks. It's gonna air thaw. That helps keep the quality of the fish a lot better, and it keeps the water-soluble vitamins in the fish. They'll then come in at 6 in the morning. They'll pull these racks out, put it in these sinks, rinse it, then put it in each of those stainless steel buckets. You guys look at this board right here. And about halfway down, you'll see it says Shamu. So Shamu Stadium's getting 25 buckets of herring, 14 buckets of capelin, 4 buckets of mackerel, 2 buckets of sardine, some salmon, their favorite. Each of those buckets weighs 25 pounds. So there's probably between 800 and 1,000 pounds going out to Shamu Stadium just every single day. Wow. So there's things that are very important to us. It's all restaurant quality food. So if you like seafood and you order seafood in San Diego County, you're eating the exact same stuff our animals here at the park are.
Wow.
Awesome.
So maybe during the holidays there might be some shrimp on the barbecue, I'm just saying. And it's all sustainable. And sustainability is really important to us. We want to keep the animals' diets as true as what they would be out in the wild. Our animals also get very spoiled. So the herring is like the Reese's peanut butter cup, and everybody only wants to eat the Reese's peanut butter cup, but they gotta eat their vegetables too, the capelin, the sardines, the mackerel, because we have fish that we can no longer get, and if it becomes that's the only item that animal will eat, it's not in the animal's best interest. And again, it's all about sustainability.
Right.
Does it stink in here?
Yes.
It does.
Horrible.
Horrible? Oh, you wait, we haven't even
She's the
started
most
yet. I got some more stuff for you to smell.
Yes.
So you want to be an animal doctor?
Yes.
Do you want to go in the
she's
hospital?
asking you a question. You talk
See
to her.
animal doctor? Do you want to go in the hospital?
Never mind.
Never mind, now that you smell it. We haven't even got to the worst part yet. It smells.
Oh, that's awesome.
What's the worst smell?
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, do you know who stinks the most in the park? The penguin people.
Oh.
And when you see them, you tell them I said that. You said, Jody said you guys are the stinkiest people in the park.
She won't forget.
And they know it. Does it smell better in here? That's Jen's screensaver.
Cool.
It's her favorite. Does it smell better in here? Jen doesn't stink?
I smell a little bit better than the sea lions, but just a little.
Just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Do you have anything up on the x-ray?
No, I just moved it. We did have a gold that had a
Seagull,
hook,
your favorite.
but we're taking another.
If she smells good.
Thank you. You tell Jody that.
So this is one of our 2 surgical suites. And you see it has a big garage door on it.
Yeah.
Everything in here is portable. It's easier to take the stuff poolside and to the animal than to bring the animals inside. But sometimes we do need to bring the animals inside. Primarily what's brought in this room is this is our dirty or our quarantine surgical suite. So the rescued animals, the pelicans, the seals, the sea lions, the sea turtles. Right next door is our sterile surgical suite. And that's where we put our collection animals.
Where?
Can we pick you up?
We can't walk in, but I'll open the door so you can see.
Oh, what a cute
Oops, sorry.
thing.
Whack you with the door so you can see.
Oh, that's
For the ones that are rescued, how many go back and how many have to stay here?
So the goal of the program is 110% to return the animals to the wild. As far as survivability goes, most stranding facilities return about 60% that survive. Our survival rate's around 70%. And I think that's a lot due to we have on-site veterinarians, we have on-site medical technologists, veterinary technologists, and keepers. That's our whole career, is just taking care of the animals. The things that you need to know about SeaWorld's rescue program is we've been doing this for over 50 years. Before there was a Marine Mammal Protection Act, and before there was a nationally organized marine mammal health and stranding response program. That came about in 1992. We now participate in that program. So we're part of a larger national network. Most facilities work off of grants, donations, and with volunteers. SeaWorld sponsors and pays for its whole rescue program. And with that, we're able to give these animals a lot of great care because we do have on-site veterinarians. Do you know who that is? That's Primo. That's Primo and Tracy.
Come here, let me pick you up so you
Primo's
can
kind
see.
of like a grandpa dolphin.
a grandpa dolphin.
And that's Horn. He's kind of like a grandpa keeper. That's Bill Horn.
Here, come here.
She's got a frisbee.
Ooh, dolphins!
So see, when you're a doctor for the sea animals, you also get to look out of the window and spy on what's going on with them.
Oh,
What?
look at him! Whoa!
Why is she in the water?
She's doing what we call a session with Primo. So do you know what that really means? She's playing. She's teaching him things. She's playing. She's teaching him. She's teaching him how they want to play together, how to behave and have manners, because manners are important too, right? For everybody, not just for us, but for animals
What's
too.
those?
Yeah.
Speaking of manners,
So these are surgical tools. And I'm not sure what, I know they just, sounds like they just had a seagull in here. Sometimes the seagulls sadly get fishing hooks in them. So they might have used these to take the fishing hook out of the seagull.
What's a fishing hook?
It's like
I'll show you, I have a whole bunch of them in the other area.
See that? That's the inside of a seagull.
So this is a big pelican.
Oh, a big pelican.
And do you see that right there? There's a fishing hook in its tummy. So these animals, when we know they're hurt, they can't tell us what hurts. So the doctors will take these pictures and they can see inside and they can see, oh, that pelican hurts because he's got a fishing hook in his tummy. And then they'll use some of those tools that you saw over there to get the fishing hook out.
Will it hurt?
You know, they put him to sleep, so he's sleeping while they do it, so he doesn't feel a thing. And then they wake him up when they're done. So this is our hospital. It's as state-of-the-art as any human hospital, and actually people like Joy, who's one of our medical technologists, that's where a lot of them start their careers, is in the human hospitals.
How are ya?
So if we had that sick pelican and we needed to take a blood sample on it, so again, we could figure out why it was sick, we'd give it to Joy. Joy, what would you do with it? These?
These are what bird red cells look like when we look under the microscope.
Whoa.
Remember how you were thinking about the stinky stuff? This is what Joy really likes when we bring her fecals and urine.
Look, that says polar bear urine. That means polar bear poop. That's what we think was
Ew.
and poop in that one. Did you bring me some?
Yeah. Do you want to go see some more? Do you want to go smell some more animals? Because at the end, next time I see you, I want to know who the stinkiest people were.
Yeah.
What smelled the worst during your trip? Was it the fish? Was it the penguin people? Yes. If people are on the beach and they see a sick seagull or pelican or sea turtle or seal or sea lion, they call us and we're going to ask them a bunch of questions, and then all of us that are in here, we're going to get in this truck. This is one of a couple trucks we have. Fine. So we can go rescue those maybe pelicans with the sea hooks in their tummies, or maybe a dolphin, or maybe a seal or a sea lion. So do you see this? It has all kinds of specialized equipment on it, depending on what we're gonna go rescue. So we can rescue anything from a 5-pound seal to a 500-pound sea lion.
Wow.
We're gonna rescue a dolphin. We'll take everything off the back. We'll put some foam pads down, wrap it in a stretcher, kind of looks like a blanket, like a taco or burrito. We'll bring him back to the park because it's important to get him in the water as soon as possible.
Isn't that cool?
We rescued an animal. The first place we're gonna take him is all the way in here. This is called our critical care building. Do you know what the first thing we're gonna do is? There's this fancy little thing. Don't tell anyone, one of the most important pieces of equipment in rescue is a trash can. Very fancy, whoever knew. But they're gonna put him in the trash can. There's actually probably one in there right now. Just in case everyone looking out, they feel safe. And they don't try to, they're not trying to bite us. So they don't understand we're trying to help them. And then we're gonna weigh them. This is a big scale. If you want to see how we weigh them. Bring them over. We're going to come all the way in. Just don't stick your hands in.
Don't stick
He
your
doesn't know
hands
we're
in,
trying to help. Adorable. We will get phone calls to rescue him. So on average, we rescue about 150 to 200 marine mammals a year. 2015, we rescued over 1,000. Last year, we rescued over 400. This year, we're probably right around between 25 and 30 so far this year. So it's starting out a little slower, which that's good for the animals. It means they're doing okay out there.
It's awesome.
How far out do you go with this?
So we have a letter of agreement with the government. San Diego County is our jurisdiction. But if there is an animal outside of San Diego County that needs our help or our expertise, like let's say a large whale or a dolphin, we'll be requested to go outside and we will. So the real answer is we'll go anywhere that there's an animal in need of help.
Go put him in his pen.
So when they come in, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to weigh them. We're going to see if we have a boy or a girl. We're going to take a length, and we're going to put that fancy jewelry on them. That tag that you saw has a number on it, and that number is specific to that animal and that to SeaWorld. So let's say that sea lion swims all the way up, maybe to Washington, and the state of Washington, and he gets sick again. We have friends up there that will rescue him, and they'll see that he was at SeaWorld and they'll call us, and they'll say, he was entangled in fishing gear up here. What was going on with him when you had him? Was he entangled in fishing gear? Is he not learning to stay away from fishing gear? Or maybe he just had pneumonia or was malnourished. So we all work together with all of our friends up and down the coast.
Cool.
And then come over. This is our Carolina girl, Emily.
Hey.
Do you want to look at and see?
Oh, buddy, look.
Remember, this doesn't smell anything as bad as the penguin people will. Trust me. So they don't drink water, so all the fluids that they get are from what they eat. If they're malnourished, they're not eating, so they become dehydrated. This is one of the ways we'll rehydrate them. This is just, it's an electrolyte solution, just like humans would get in the hospital. We'll give it IV. We give it subcutaneously or just underneath the sea lion's skin because again, they don't understand how to try to help them. They don't hold still. Their body will assimilate it as it needs it. And if you see, he or she has a big bump on her back. So throughout the day, that bump is going to go down and that fluids are going to help rehydrate that animal. It's very difficult a lot of times for them to maintain their own body temperature. So that's what this room is for. We don't want them getting too hot or too cold. So if there's a big storm, of course, California there shouldn't be, but there is. This is where we'll house them overnight to keep them warm. Do you guys see those funny looking shapes on the side of them?
See this shape, like a square?
So that's called the feral marking system, and it's how we tell them apart. So we just take barber shears and we shave into their fur. Each shape represents a number, so that tells me that is number 26. This is the side where they're actually starting to feel better. They're starting to gain weight, they're starting to eat on their own, and they're starting to compete for food. So the fact that pup, walked over to you, I'm going to show you a difference what they look like when they first come in. What do you think it is?
Gorilla?
It could be a stinky poo. No. Do you know that's a big part of my job? Do you know what we have to come in the morning and do?
What?
Clean up their poo. Oh no! Do you remember that squid that you saw?
The squid, look.
This is who eats that squid. This is an elephant seal pup. And he hasn't learned to eat yet. So this pup this is actually a pup. It's going to be about 6,000 pounds when it's fully grown.
That's just a
probably
baby.
only about 3 months old. When they're born, so we call them super wieners. Awesome word.
Nice.
Awesome word. They're super wieners.
Look at his eyes.
They nurse for about 2 to 3 weeks, and they get so fat like their flippers won't even touch the beach. We always say when they're born they're about the size of a 4th grader, and when they're ready to wean they're about the size of a sumo wrestler.
Hi.
And then they'll sit on the beach for about a month.
You look like
Just
Adeline.
losing all of that fat, growing a new coat of fur, and then they'll start going out to sea and start figuring out how to eat and find food on their own. So this is animals that are getting closer to being returned to the wild. They still have a couple weeks on them, but they have to basically pass 3 criteria before they can return back to the wild. They have to get a clean bill of health from our veterinarians. They have to be eating on their own, and they have to show that they have to be a healthy weight so that they can competitively eat amongst other animals. Because again, yeah, we'll go look. We'll go see on the other side because it's a competitive environment out in the wild. And what we found, it's really neat. The more animals you have in a facility like this or an area like this, you would think it would be the opposite way, but the better they do, the more they thrive, the more they gain weight, and the quicker they do.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's Adeline.
they have their personal space, their own bubble. You know, don't touch me. But this little guy was an orphan harbor seal pup. We monitored him on the beach for over 48 hours because we wanted to make sure he really was orphaned. Because while we're good at what we do, mom's always best. So we want to make sure he is orphaned. So after the 4th day of watching him, we talked to National Marine Fisheries Service, and we decided the best thing for him, that he was orphaned, to get him and bring him here. So he's actually on a bottle. We will get to go see the dog. You're going to get to see a lot of cool stuff today. This is the one area where you won't get to touch any animals.
But the next area we can. But
Yeah.
listen,
Yep.
she's telling us about the seals.
This little guy
See, his
is on a
mommy-
bottle, and he's going to be on a bottle for 4 weeks. And then he's going to start eating fish. That's
Yummy.
how fast he starts eating fish, in 4
Think
weeks.
about that. Adeline had milk for like a year.
Hi.
She nursed, for mommy for a year.
Do you like?
You
Do you like kitty cats? This harbor seal is kind of like a kitty cat of the sea. That's the best way to think of him. And the sea lions, they're kind of like the dogs. They call them the dogs of the sea.
Daddy thinks the seal looks like your sister. They call these guys big eyes.
Kevin's the old man of the sea.
I'm the old dog of the sea.
See that? We rescued a sea lion who got a big owie from that. That was actually in his side. I have a picture of him. His name was Oscar. You want to see it? So this was Oscar. You see it right there. He's got a big owie.
That hook was
Oscar gave us a good run for our money. It took us about a week to rescue him, but we got it because he was smart. He didn't know we were trying to help him, and he found a nice little fishing pier that was broke off. And we tried to get on it with boats on either side, but he had the advantage. He'd always go in the water. And then one day he decided to show up on a beach, so it was much easier for us to rescue him. But he actually is a resident animal, and we've seen him down at G Street Pier. So he's out there and he's doing really well.
Awesome.
See, so they got him, they caught him, they took the hook out and got him all better, and then they put him back.
So these are fishing hooks. These were all removed from the stomach of one sea lion.
Oh my
So the
goodness.
things we always like to tell people is it's not about changing what you do, because I eat fish, I like to go fishing, but it's about changing the way you do it. The fishing industry is becoming more and more green, but as consumers we can drive that need. So there is biodegradable fishing line or monofilament line, biodegradable hooks. They are more expensive and they're not in every store, so you do have to look for them. But if you get them, then we don't see them come back in the seals or sea lions.
That's important for you.
Now see all these balloons? Do you know where we got them? When we take these animals back out on our boat out to the ocean to return them back to the wild, we're always having to clean up the ocean. We have to pick these balloons up. But I like to have balloons at my parties too. I'm a party girl. I don't know if you know this. But what we say is have the balloons at your party, pop them, and then throw them away in the trash. Properly dispose of them, because if you let them go up into the sky, they end up in the ocean, and then like the sea turtles eat them, and then they get sick, and then they come back here. So have balloons, but just don't let them go up in the sky.
Thank you
On
so
Thursday,
much.
It's very nice to meet you guys.
It was nice meeting you. This was awesome.
You are going to see the dolphins. And remember, what are you going to tell the penguin people? They're stinky.
Tyler, you want to tell her thank you for all the hard work she does?
You are very welcome. Thank you for coming.
So everybody's going to the bathroom, but so far this has been awesome. We've just seen a small portion of what they're doing, but just getting to see the animals that are here and that they're helping and stuff has just been really cool. Whoa!
Okay, their blowholes look like belly buttons. That is so funny.
That's it.
Look, they're very playful, so be careful, you might get wet.
That's okay. She's like, puddle!
So Bullet doesn't look like all the other dolphins. She's called a common dolphin. She's the only common dolphin we have.
He said, ah.
Look how cute she is.
She's beautiful. Look at freckles. Are you a good girl? What? What? She's a good girl. Yeah. You know what I love about her? Is those freckles on her tongue right there. Look at that tongue. Look at that tongue. Do you want to give her a fish? Ew. Ew. Do you like ice cubes? She does. What? You want to try that? We'll give her an ice cube. You stay right there. I'm going to grab her bucket. Wow. Look how pretty she is. Are you pretty good? Can you wave?
Jude would be running up.
Can you wave at her?
I don't think so. I think she.
Hi, she'll wave back at you.
Is that cool?
Do you want to hear her talk? She knows more vocals than any other guy. So this is what you're gonna do.
Look at
Put your
his
fingers
colors.
like this.
It's like swirl.
Both fingers and bounce them up and down. Ah, she liked it. Okay, do you know how to do an armpit burp? Hey, you're cheating. I didn't ask you. You're too smart. Yours. You want to try it? No? Oh, do it a different way. Just take your finger and press like a button on her forehead. Just one finger and go. She did it! You hear that?
That's awesome!
You want to give her some more snow? There you go. Nice. She also knows how to scream. You want to pretend to scare her? You put both hands up and say boo. Yeah, you knew. Wait till she's looking. Go. Boo, boo. Are you scared? No. Come here. Boo. Oh, she was doing it again. Go ahead. Boo. Good job, buddy. Can we see your pretty tail? Can we see your pretty tail?
Wow, that is so cool.
Wow.
She's got a cute little tiny tail.
Oh my gosh, she's hard.
She
is hard. She's
She's
right.
all muscle. She is backwards.
She's relaxing.
And she can go up, right? I can spin her like a washing machine. She doesn't mind. She's such a good girl. Sandy! Guess how old Sandy is? She's 37 years old.
37.
Yep.
Wow.
She's older than your mom and dad.
Yep.
Hi, Sandy. This is the sweetest dolphin on the planet, right? Mwah.
You're the sweetest.
She is. Show them your teeth. Show them your
Aw,
teeth.
yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah. That sound, Tyler?
Can you line up? Now because she's an older lady, her skin looks a little older too. She's got spots. She loves meeting people. Are you ready? Watch her, Sandy. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, boo. Boo! You have to use your hands. Remember you have to use your hands. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Guys mind if I hold Tyler?
You can keep her. Whoa.
So Tyler, this is what I'm gonna do. If you don't mind, I'm gonna hold you up like this. And if you put your hands way out over the water, just like this, Sandy will come up and do a little dance. You just gotta gently touch her flippers. Does that sound okay? Okay, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna lift you up, and your signal to her is hands out.
Hands out.
Ready? Go. Good job, Tyler! That was awesome! You did it! You danced with a dolphin! That was fantastic! Kind of have to hold a fish for this one.
Yeah,
You want to do it?
You can do it.
Do it, Tyler. You can
So
do
you
it.
take a fish and you point it at Sandy. And don't go. I don't want you to go. Then you make a check mark. And she's going to jump down, jump up in the sky, and you throw it into her mouth.
Can you do that?
You want me to show you first? Yeah. Okay, I've got a fish catch, guys. So you go, check mark.
There's that.
All right, and here we go.
That's awesome.
We're going to make a check mark. Check mark, check mark. All right, get ready. Ready?
Throw it
Look
in her
up
mouth.
here, look up here. Here she comes. Throw it. Throw. She's going to get it. No problem. She knows exactly. It's right there, Sandy. There she goes. You want me to show you? It's a really good question. So we use target poles, these big long poles with a little ball on the end, and we just train them to follow us with that, like this. Then we teach them to do like a front flip underwater. Let's see if Sandy. You take your fist and you do it in a circle like that for her. Good. She got it.
Cool.
Do it again. Nice. Good job. You want to scare her? Did you hit your head? You have to go. You don't have to do it terrifying. One more time. She can't see through all the bubbles. Do it again. All right, we're gonna have to say goodbye. Come on over here. Put your little feet up on the top one. Get it. Now we're gonna say bye to Bullet. So all you have to do, take your hand and wave at her. Bye, Bullet. Bye. Are you gonna wave? How about both hands? You did awesome.
I mean, they can.
Thank you guys so much. This is awesome.
No problem. I've been coming to this SeaWorld since I was younger than her. I was born and raised in San Diego, and my mom's been bringing me here since the day I was born.
Wow, that's awesome.
I always wanted to be a trainer, and here I am.
Here you are, yeah.
You hear that, Tyler? What? She always wanted to be a dolphin trainer, and now she is.
I've been here for 20 years. It's the best job ever.
Wow.
She wanted to be a sea animal doctor, she said, but after smelling everything in the rescue, she might want to be a dolphin trainer.
Oh, she's having a grand old time.
So awesome. That is something I always like. I don't even think I got to touch the dolphins when I went to SeaWorld when I was younger. It's just something like I've always wanted to do. Swim with them, really. But yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool, and that'll be an awesome memory for Tyler as she gets older, and then also that we just got on video. That'd be really cool. So
we have 5 whales. There are 2 here. There's 2 over there in the smaller area, and then we have 1 that's out front right now. We have gates that separate these 3 pools, so what we're gonna do when we step down to feed them is we're gonna open up those gates, and then they're kind of on free time after that. So the gates are there so that we can work with smaller groups at a time. Sometimes they need a little bit more one-on-one focus. We do our interactions in the water with guests. So we have 2 6-year-olds that aren't quite ready to do those for 20 minutes. Their attention span doesn't last that long. We all work with all of the animals because we want to keep a really good relationship with all of them. But for learning new things, we have smaller teams so that those animals are learning from just maybe 3 or 4 people. And we're not trying to tell them 14 different things from 14 different people. You guys are going to get to touch him and feed him. Just make sure you pay close attention to what Jamie is going to ask you to do so that Klondike is successful and he's understanding what we're asking.
Alright guys, so Denise is going to tell you guys some fun things about belugas while you guys meet them. So if you want to kneel down, sweetie.
On your knees.
You can kneel down if you want that way.
There you go.
His little head.
My phone.
Feel it.
Fine and Dory.
On your knees. There you go. That's right. Fine.
You want to pet him? You can pet him.
So that part of his body is called a melon. Klondike is very good at showing off some of his vocalizations. So Jamie can show some of those.
Ready? I'm going to have you help me with this one. Take your hands out like this, and you want to pound your chest like a big old gorilla. Big gorilla.
that's awesome.
So all of those sounds come out of the blowhole on the top of his head. He's contracting his nasal passage and squeezing air out like from a balloon. And when he's making those sounds, if he flexes that forehead, that melon, he can direct the sound wherever he wants more information.
Wow.
Ready? You want to see that? Ready? Watch this.
Flex.
Lots
of muscle.
That is so wild.
Yeah.
You see, they use the sound to find their way around. That's how they like.
It smells like fish, huh?
All the way around. And they need to be very agile because not only are there predators in their environment, but the ice is always moving. So in addition to getting their body out from under the ice, they can actually break through it using this dorsal ridge on their back.
Feel it?
So if they find an area of ice that's pretty thin, they can echolocate and find a crack in the ice.
I'm holding you.
And then that's that cartilage area.
Here?
Doesn't it? It feels so different.
Mushy. It's not. It's jiggly.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
Do you remember what I said about listening and doing everything that you were supposed to do?
He'll get really excited.
She said to make sure to tell you guys that y'all are the stinkiest.
Yes, so I'm going to have you stand back just a little bit.
Stand up back.
Because you don't want to be stinkier. So penguins poop wherever they want. So do you know where the
Kinda like
splash
your
zone
sister.
is for a penguin? Do you know how close the splash zone is? It's about as close as you're standing.
That means if the penguin poops, you get
But notice
splashed.
where my hand is. I'll take one for the team. Okay?
Thank
All
you.
right?
Well, then come back right here. There you go.
I'll do my best. Okay? It is a special souvenir that not everybody gets. All right. Well, welcome to the Penguin Encounter. My name's Linda, and I'm standing here with a macaroni penguin.
Macaroni penguin.
So if you've watched any penguin animated movie, they usually feature a crested penguin. And
Whoop, did you see that?
There you
See, I missed
go.
me too. Woo, that's a lot of poop, huh? So now it's out of the way. That's the good news. Macaroni penguin, and they're one of our best animal ambassadors because they're naturally curious. They like to engage with people. They're sub-Antarctic, so they can take the warmer temperatures of this kitchen for short times to visit with people. And they're just cute, right? Don't you think they're super cute? This bird has already completed the once annual molt. And the molt is the process where penguins renew their feathers once a year. Other birds renew their feathers in different stages. Some birds just do their wing feathers one part of the year and their body the other part of the year. But penguins do their whole body once a year. So penguins, in order to scratch themselves, have to get their head down to their leg in order to scratch. So they love it when somebody else does. So you're welcome to try scratching him right behind his little head. And so he's like, oh, that's
like
just
that.
the right spot.
Just like Francis.
And so what he wants to do is he's trying to scratch me back because they are hardwired to, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So see, he's trying to scratch me back.
Right there.
And look at that. So it's called an allopreening. Can you say allopreening?
Alloprene.
There you go. Perfect. You're a scientist already.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Pretty. All of our birds are in a species survival plan, which means that we track each individual bird genetically and we manage them for the best possible genetic variation in the population. And we work with field biologists to learn as much as we
Stretching
can
it
about
out.
the birds.
Oh.
So there is a little overhang for you tall fellas. Make sure you watch your head and then watch your footing as you go in. You can hold on to the rockwork. Just go down this and go right up to the weight partition. Stop. Do not reach over the partition because I need to see who's there.
Gosh, this is awesome. Look at the camera and say this is awesome.
This is awesome. Just imagine in the Antarctic where there's 50 and 60,000 birds gathered together in a rookery and how loud it might be.
Oh yeah.
And then when you think about the smell, so to me, like I said, I'm nose blind, but rookeries in the Antarctic, when they're at the height of the breeding season and they have chicks and they're cooking, you can smell the rookeries a mile maybe before you get to them.
Petting Annie right now, buddy. We already pet.
They get jealous.
So my name's Christy Burtis. I've actually been with SeaWorld for 29 years.
Wow.
So I grew up in San Diego, always wanted to come to SeaWorld. I wasn't as fortunate as kids are today that people come in all the time or kids get multiple visits to SeaWorld. But I knew from the day that I came into the park, I actually saw Corky, our oldest female. I just wanted to work with these animals in some capacities. I went to school. One of the main reasons why I came to SeaWorld is because we have an education assistance program. And so I wanted to go to college, and that was a way I could come here, work at SeaWorld, which I always wanted to come. But also they helped basically pay for my associate's degree, my bachelor's, my master's, and now I'm working on my doctorate. So just the company is just very supportive of education and really supporting the employee. Into school, I worked in our park operations department, so there isn't anything in this park that I haven't cleaned or touched. But I went into a veterinary nursing program because I really wanted to be a vet tech. And my last semester of school, I told my parents, I don't really want to work inside a hospital, I want to be outdoors. And so what really intrigues me about marine mammals, and it still holds true today, there's more that we don't know about these animals than what we know.
Wow.
And so for me, that's just incredibly exciting because we're learning things every single day. Hi! From there, I went into our rescue program. You guys got a chance to go back there already?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really my passion, the rescue and rehab program. So I did that for a number of years, but while you do the rescue, at certain points you'll move into the park and work with the animals in the park.
Right.
I'm really, really into the research that we have coming into this park because it challenges me as a trainer, because the scientists will say, this is the behavior I need. And so I have to put those in terms of, okay, what do I need to train the animals so that they can get the information they want? So that right now in my career is kind of where my passion is focused, is, you know, how can I bridge that gap because of my relationship with them? You know, what can I teach the animal to help the researcher get the information that they need? So from being in the rescue, I went to our dolphin show. So I worked there for 11 years, worked with dolphins, pilot whales, and birds. And then from there I came over here with the killer whales. So that's kind of me in a nutshell.
So what are some of the things that SeaWorld's doing that keeps you here, that makes you say like, yeah, this is awesome, and maybe something people don't know that you want people to know?
I think just the general care of the animals. It's not just about the care of the animals and providing an enriching home for them, but SeaWorld's connection to conservation is what keeps me here. You know, it's not just about guests coming to the park and learning about the animals. There's this holistic approach to these animals, and the company's supporting, not just entertaining you and educating you, but also what can we do outside in the wild.
Right.
And I think sometimes we get this pressure that we have to do something, but I challenge, you know, organizations everywhere that I think it's become more of a norm now of this corporate social responsibility. Great, you're here, this is what you're doing, but what are you doing to decrease the effects that your company has on the wild? Okay, we've been doing that for years. This isn't something new for this organization.
Right.
So I love that now we're kind of looking at everything that we do. Before, I think we were really focused on the animals. We were feeding our animals sustainable fish. Well, now the company's going, okay, that's good, but how can we do better? So now the meal that you ate today, you're eating food that's all sustainable.
I read that on the website.
Yes.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I love about this company, is that what we're doing is never good enough. We're always looking to improve. We're always looking to see how we can change what we're doing that does affect not just the animals in the ocean, but all the environments that the animals live in.
Right, yeah, I think people, you know, even someone from like me would think like, oh, that's SeaWorld, they're making money off animals and roller coasters. That's just what they're doing. They're just trying to make money, you know. So I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is, oh, they have this whole rescue rehabilitation program that I had no idea honestly about, you know. It just
they put outside of that program alone.
Yeah.
Well, and keep in mind too, we've been rescuing animals for 50 years.
Right.
This isn't new.
Right.
You know, so I think
it's not, oh, let's start doing something good. We've been doing this.
Yes. I just think we haven't necessarily advertised all the great things that we've done over the years.
Yeah.
So that's her job.
Things do happen that cause bad raps, and then people don't want to look any further.
Right.
I mean, we see that even just with other people with YouTube channels where one thing comes out and then, oh, well, that's all
they're terrible, you're the worst person in the world.
Yeah, it's a huge challenge, I think, to show people the good after that, but it's important because the good goes beyond, like you said, it's beyond SeaWorld. It's stretches into conservation of even land mammals and stuff.
That lovely sound that you're hearing right now is
great background noise.
Well, and I'll tell you this too, going back to the company and, you know, what's good enough and what's not good enough, even the construction in the animal areas has evolved drastically. So I'll give you an example. So right now we're going through the demolition process, so we're pulling out all of the old theatrical set, and we're preparing to put in more naturalistic rock and trees and make it more of this Pacific Northwest feel out there. But with that, that's so much isn't necessarily for the animals, it's for the guests. But they're also changing the insides of the pool and the areas where the animals come up on. We're getting some rubbing rock areas because we do see the animals like to rub on different surfaces. And then a lot of different enrichment for the animals for the orca encounter. But going back to the construction, I think that working with the construction workers, I think they start to fall in love with these animals like us. And so they are very cognizant of you know, is this okay? Is that okay? Are the animals hearing this or that? We've done hearing studies, so we know what the animals can hear and what they can't hear.
Right.
But even some of the equipment that they're using, I couldn't even hear. Not that my hearing is like theirs. They definitely hear different frequencies than we do. But the adjustments of all the equipment and how they're demoing some of the equipment out there I'm very, very happy with, because it's just different than it was.
I love even what you're saying about the construction, because that speaks to the counter. People say, well, you just change when you get in trouble for stuff. You know, like, I feel like that's a lot of thought processes. That shows like there's intentionality behind every aspect of what you do here.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what I think would be really interesting is if somebody showed the progression of the shows and presentations over the years. We've always adapted and changed, not just based on the animals, because you want to change things up. And even if we have a show that runs 5 years, as a trainer, I can make that show every day variable for the animals just based on my training methodology. The animals, what parts of the presentation that they engage in. But we've traditionally changed the product. You know, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
We're glad to be.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see the different. Like I said, I'm a big researcher, so I like to look and read into everything and find the truth in everything. So, you know, we knew how we felt before we came with this even more. It's really cool to see, of course, and to see the.
Well, thank you again.
Yeah, no problem.
We appreciate it. It was nice meeting you as well.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button to follow along with the Murrays.
Subscribe.